I'd like to switch up the order a little bit here. Let's start with 50 State Street. Then we can do 34 Church, and then we can do 5 Sutherland Street. We were made aware today that there was an issue with notice for 5 State Street. So on the advice of council, we're going to have to defer discussion of that for another meeting. So we're going to reschedule the meeting for that so it can be properly noticed. And so is anyone here at the moment for 5 State Street? Okay, so we're going to have to reschedule that. And if you have any, I guess the question is, should we wait till our next meeting or should we have a special meeting for it? Anyone have any thoughts? Do you guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, I have thoughts. Thank you for letting us voice. We would love a special meeting because we've been through a long process, as you're all aware. So if it's possible to do a special meeting in 3 weeks, that allows some time to get the proper notice. I think that's the week of the 22nd. If it works, waiting until May to get the final approval from you and then go to the trustees for our final permit approval puts us at like the end of May. We started this process in January. So I requested possible to do a special meeting with you all, especially given our proposals for a contingent site plan adjustment.
Okay.
Based on circumstances.
Let me take a look at the dates here. So we're going to need at least a week. What are people's schedules? Are people generally available on Wednesdays? I'm pretty much available on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I am not available the 17th or the 24th.
I cannot do the 17th.
Okay. What about the 10th? That'll be next Wednesday.
Is that going to give us enough time?
Yeah.
Need more time?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay. So what other days?
It sounded like the 24th.
You can't do the 24th.
I'll be out of town.
You could still have a full board with an alternate.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to have all of our scheduled meetings when we have all our regular members present, but okay, if everyone else is okay with the 24th, are one of you available on the 24th?
Yeah, of course, for me.
Okay. All right, so let's look to reschedule then the discussion of 5 State for the week of the 24th of April. It'll be at 6:30 p.m., I believe.
The 24th or?
The 24th.
Okay. Thank you for accommodating. I appreciate it.
Nobody else needs this room? There aren't any other meetings?
No, we can hold that one because they're only scheduling budget meetings per week, so I can make sure we have, yeah, they don't come in that day.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you for the input, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, with that, we'll start with 50 State Street. And just as a general introduction for everybody, the way we're going to go through the applications is we ask people to come up and present a little bit about their project. If we have questions, we may ask you some questions. Some of the main things we're interested in is how projects impacts properties next to you. So some of the types of things we look at are things like drainage. Is water going to go on a neighbor's property? If you do light fixtures, is there going to introduce glare on neighboring properties? Those are the types of things we're kind of interested in. So let's go ahead and get started with 50 State. Someone here from 50 State? Okay, you've done this before.
Yes.
So if you want to come up and tell us a little bit about your project, and we're familiar with it, and
Sure.
What's changed for this year.
Hi, my name is Brian Meyer. I'm one of the owners of Copperleaf Brewing, located at 50 State Street, within Northfield Common. What we're looking to do is what we've done the last 2 summers. It's very much the same. We want to do the outdoor seating. We have some Adirondack chairs that we set up during our service, and some small tables. The request on our first go around with this 2 years ago was that we limit setting them up to 1 hour before service, and that we remove them 1 hour after service, which is what we have done and still plan to do that as well. So it's pretty much nothing else has really changed. There is one difference in that we have had some stanchions with some plastic chaining that we put around it. Last year, actually, at the recommendation of the building inspector, he saw a safety issue. There were cars that were kind of coming and just kind of pulling up too close, so we now have some metal barriers that set up on either side that basically, because of safety in general, people coming in and out of that area and walking through that area, they stay there. They're very light, they're easily moved, so if there is an emergency, they can very easily be moved out of the way. But other than that, it's really pretty much the same as usual. We're not adding any kind of lighting, we're not adding any kind of warnings or anything like that. It's the same thing. Our customers seem to enjoy the outdoors when it's nice weather.
Okay. So for members of the board, we had a draft resolution here, which is a copy of last year's with dates updated. So it's May 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2024. And the times are updated. So it's Monday to Thursday, noon to 9 p.m.
Yep.
So it was the second one in this stack over here.
Sorry, is it Sunday or Thursday?
Well, it's Sunday noon to 9, Monday to Thursday noon to 9, so same thing.
Yes, and then Saturday.
And then Saturday noon to 10,
Yes.
okay? It says in here that the building inspector can approve of materials and location of your temporary rope fence, so you can work that out with him.
Sure.
That's what it said last year?
Yeah, like I say, he's the one that had recommended the metal barriers for safety
Okay.
purposes.
All right, so that's this draft resolution here. Let's go ahead and open up the public hearing and see if we have any comments from the public. So I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second?
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hoffman?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Bleastra?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. So first of all, does anyone in the room have any comments to add for this application? Okay. And this is also, we have an online meeting going. Do we have any people in attendance online?
We do.
If anyone online would like to speak, you can click the raise hand button and we can call you to speak.
Hello, please state your name and address.
It's Steve, the building inspector.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, I just want to let you know there were no complaints, no problems with the operation of the outdoor seating last year.
Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to have any comments? Thank you, Steve.
Not online.
Okay. All right, then, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Member Hoffman?
Aye.
Chair Bleastra?
All right.
Motion passes.
Okay, then I would like to go ahead and make a motion to adopt a resolution approving the temporary use permit for Copper Leaf. But do people need more time to look at this? Okay.
Nope.
No.
We can make minor tweaks to it if we need to. When we get to minutes.
Yeah.
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Rhoda?
Aye.
Member Hoppen?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Louistra?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody stay dry tonight.
You too, thanks.
All right, since we had more things on the agenda today, I had reached out to see if anyone else was interested in running some of the topics. And Jared offered to run 34 Church and run the discussion for 5 Sutherland. So,
All right. Give Justin a break.
yeah, give me a break.
So
I spent a lot of
Justin,
time talking last meeting.
Running, where his voice at. All right, so we're looking at 34 Church Street. Alec and Caitlin Fisher. It looks like, yeah, go ahead, come on up, yeah. Looks like you guys want to replace an existing deck with a one-room, one-story addition. The lot coverage is going to increase from about 26.2% to 28.9%. You were approved for the deck back in 2017. It looks like you're proposing to tie new downspouts into the existing drainage. So I guess a couple of things. I had a question for the group. Do we need to do a variance for the setback?
They have a variance for this.
Right, do we need to, what I'm asking, do we need to do another one because we're replacing the existing deck with an addition, or does that stay?
I think that's a question for Mindy. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, the short answer to that is that this board's jurisdiction over setbacks and variances is appellate only, so you would not have to revisit the setback issue unless Steve were to determine that the fact that they're changing it from a deck to a one-story structure requires a new variance or a modification of the
Okay,
existing
good,
variance.
good.
I did have Steve verify that we could change the deck as is to a one-story building without having.
Yeah, do you have a copy of your plans there? Do you show the setback? The plans we had, it wasn't legible on the plans.
So currently, the deck sits in from the corners of the house by about 6 inches. And so the addition, the idea would be to plane it with the side of the house. I mean, the setback, I had my drafts girl do this properly, so the setback decreases by 0.2 inches or something so minute. But just to jog this in 6 inches and create that kind of architectural weirdness, that's not good. So we're aligning the sides. So ultimately, we're just asking for this extension, and it really has to do with, there's a strange corner of this house that was built over the years. It's over outside air, leaky, that floor is always cold, so it's strange. What we want to do is wrap a crawl space around and close it properly, and then tie the roof line in to level with this roof line, come up and down at the 512 pitch that this is, and just kind of make it have some harmony. Because just making this room 10 by 20, which is the size of the deck, it looks like there's a roof here, and there's a roof there, and there's a dormer, and there was too many things going on, and just snaring this extra space just made such architectural sense, and it gives the room, it just gets things to flow together, because now we've connected with the dining room.
Yeah.
Another important point is the bank parking lots here, pardon me. And the concept of the addition is we have transoms on that back wall, which limit the view from the cars in the parking lot, which can see directly into the kitchen. They can see directly into the dining room. So the shades are always pulled to try to get some privacy in there. So we could actually now just have natural light coming in the transoms and create that space and make the roof lines kind of work out nice.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, our lot coverage increases 2.7%. Which I thought was not egregious, it was worth a shot.
Great. Well, thank you. I just realized, I don't think we opened the public hearing, did we? So we should probably do that.
Yeah, go
before
ahead.
we continue. So I'll go ahead and move to, go ahead and open the public hearing on this.
Second?
Member Shannon? Aye. Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hopping?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Leistra?
Hey,
Motion passes.
All right. Does anybody here in the room have anything that you'd like to say about this particular application? Okay, hearing nothing. Do we have anybody online that has anything that they would like to say about this application?
So far, we don't.
Okay. So why don't we leave the public hearing open, and we can talk through a couple of issues. If anybody joins and has anything to say, then we can hear them. Is my thought. So one of the members, as we reviewed this, raised a question about drainage. And I did see in here that you were proposing to tie the downspouts into the existing drainage. Is there any indication one way or the other whether this is going to significantly change the drainage that exists now? And we're adding some roof area.
We are, I don't think it's significant enough to generate enough rainwater runoff to do anything to these gutters. It's not a big enough space. So we're coming on 10 feet.
Yeah. Okay. And so you said it's tying into the existing drainage. Is the existing drainage, do we know where it goes? Does it?
Yes, it goes, we just thought that Paul could speak better to a lot of the architectural reasons for that.
Would you mind just stating for the record your name and everything?
Okay, Alex Fisher,
Caitlin Fisher,
the residents of the.
Yeah.
the owners.
Yeah, and
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
yeah, so I could actually show you on the map where.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Variance. So there's a drainage pipe from this gutter and this gutter that meet under here, and there's a big pipe that's underground that comes down here, and then it comes up right up there.
Okay.
oh, okay, so you have, it's like a French drain, so it's all underground. You've
Yeah,
got-
it's already underground. It's only a
Okay.
couple of years old, I want to say. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
So,
recent, it's big. It's-
okay, so you're not just taking the water and just dumping it on a block on the ground then?
No.
You actually have a drainage system?
No, it's out away, yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Very good.
Good.
It drains onto our property.
Okay.
How the things.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, we did have some concerns about, just because the Chase Bank next door is downhill from the property. So we want to make sure that, we're not creating a drainage issue for them, because there is a lot of pavement and stuff. So has Steve looked at the drainage issue, said anything one way or the other about it?
So I'll just say that we solved the drainage issue that we experienced when we moved in.
Okay.
With that.
Yeah.
So it
Got
was
it.
never something addressed by, or a problem for Chase Bank, but it was a problem for us in terms of usage of the backyard.
Hmm.
So we invested in having that, underground, and it comes up on our property. We have not
Gotcha.
had any pooling of water on our property at all with our existing structure. There is that underground piece that comes out, as Alex probably showed it.
Yeah.
And then the other spot would be from our roof line down to the, right in front of the corner of the house. So
Okay.
that's even closer to the house. So those are the two areas, again, on our property, no issues of any sort of
Good.
pooling.
Before those drains were put in underground,
Yeah.
there wasn't even grass that could grow because it was all just a muddy slope.
Gotcha.
So if anything, I can't say if this is if this is what happened, but there was pretty clear indication it was just muddy water basically draining into the parking lot. So by doing that now, it's actually going somewhere more productive.
Where it can seep in.
Yeah, and even
Gotcha.
underneath where the deck is right now, of course, it's a closed deck, so there's nothing but mud underneath there as
Sure.
well. And that basically is now the only spot where it's still kind of just running off a little bit. And if
Yeah.
this were the case, it wouldn't be running off because it wouldn't just be under the ground and running off. It would be collected by drainage from that minor kind of addition roof and then funneled into that same drainage pipe that was going to fix.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. That helps, I think, a lot. Anybody have any other questions you want to ask the applicants before we go into our analysis? All right. Well,
That was my big question, so.
yeah, thank you. So this did not appear to be something that we need to do any kind of like seeker review or anything like that, so we kind of move on to the 6 factors. First factor is, will the variance create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties? It didn't look like it would to me. I would say it doesn't. Anybody have any disagreement with that? Okay.
No.
Next question was whether the benefits sought to be achieved could be achieved by some other feasible method. I would say no. They're trying to get some privacy, and I guess you could do that with screening or something, but this seems like it's going to be a much more effective way to accomplish that. And you're getting some space as well, so I would say no. Anybody have any thoughts or anything you want to add to that?
They want an addition, got to build the addition to get the addition.
Yeah, exactly.
And back to the first one, it looked to me like they were working pretty hard on the architecture of this. It looks like it would fit in, and the architecture review board will go over the details.
Yeah.
They also, as they said, they address drainage. They have a light that complies with code. That shouldn't, it's only a 60-watt light. So I didn't see how even building this close to the property line was going to be detrimental. Seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, I agree. And then the next question is whether the requested variance is substantial. I don't think it is, honestly. We're only looking at an increase of a little over 2%. I would say it's not substantial. Next question is whether the variance would have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions of the neighborhood. I would say no. And then, is it self-created? I guess you could arguably say it is, but that alone isn't a reason to deny it. Next issue is whether the variance is the minimum necessary to provide the relief. Looks to me like it is. What they're trying to do, it doesn't go beyond, a significant amount beyond the existing deck and the area that they are adding on. It seems like there's a very good reason to do that, and limiting it to the deck wouldn't substantially limit the impact of the project. So I would say it is the minimum necessary to provide
provide the benefits that they want in particular.
Yeah.
And the only real view shed is the parking lot at Chase.
Right, yeah.
So it's not affecting the neighborhood. I personally think it's a nice, cleaner design.
I agree.
So I think that's great, and when I park, I will admire.
You won't be able to wave to us anymore.
Yeah, so it looks to me like we should go ahead and grant this. Anybody have any other further thoughts or opposition?
I would say for D here, we should maybe just copy some of the comments we had for A, which was drainage, lighting, architecture, and stuff like that, all seem reasonable and appropriately addressed.
Sounds good to me. No issue there.
Yep.
All right, well, in that case, I would go ahead and, any other?
Do we close the public hearing before we vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
before we do that, is there anybody online that has joined?
There's no one.
Okay, all right, then I would go ahead and move to close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Second.
All right.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hopper?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Boystra?
Aye.
All right.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. So I'll go ahead and move to that we approve the application. get a second?
I will second that.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hopper?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Bleastra?
All right.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, good luck, hope it goes well. Thank you, have a good night.
See you later.
All right,
The building inspector is raising their hand.
okay, let's hear what Steve has to say.
Go ahead, Steve. Steve?
Hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hey, the applicant's chair is right in front of the camera, so when they're sitting there, they're blocking the sound.
I asked you if you prefer to see their faces. It's not really blocking you guys.
The other question I have for Mindy, seeker,
I'm here.
seeker,
Seeker for which one?
at all of them.
Yeah, we're addressing those in the draft resolutions.
Okay,
There are 2 actions which are exempt from seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of our resolutions, they have a clause on seeker, on county planning referral not being needed, and our
LWRP.
LWRP.
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thanks, Steve.
Got to keep us on our toes, Steve.
That's right.
That's fine.
No, I appreciate it. All right, Justin, did you say you wanted to go on to 30, or to Sutherland now, or did you want to?
Yeah, well, since we took 5 State off, then you volunteered to do 5 Sutherland, so.
All right. All right, so let's move on to 5 Sutherland. Hi.
Thanks for giving us tonight. Absolutely. My name's Tim Holland. This is Sally Cheshire. We live together at 5 Sutherland Street. And we've made an application for a zoning variance to construct a garage on the property, as well as add a front porch. So I'm not sure if you guys got the printouts. I have one set here. I wasn't really sure if you guys had that. And a big board.
Yeah, I'll have to go and follow through my stuff here.
This is just a site plan. I don't know. I have trouble seeing this in the printouts so small.
Yeah, I know.
So I can leave it here, whatever. The garage would be to the back of the property, to the rear of the property. And then we'd have to, this is a gravel driveway right now. We'd like to pave it and then add like a little triangle to kind of make it even with the garage doors. The new porch will be here. And what we're trying to do is bring our house apparently was designed as a 2-story originally. It's kind of like looks weird a little bit. There's a side door. There's 2 side doors to the house. It's a 2-family, but there's 2 side doors. There's really no front door on the property right now. So we're trying to, I'm sorry.
I gotta get you
You're
my
fine.
okay. Images in my.
Did you, here's kind of this is kind of the drawing for the front porch. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes.
So that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring it a little bit more into the character of the neighborhood, put a front door, front porch on there, and try to bring it, similar to some of the other properties in the neighborhood. So that, in time with the garage door, what we're trying to do with the garage is, we don't have the actual plans yet, but we wanted to pitch this to the board. Kind of keep the same kind of triangle peak that we have in the front of the house, carry it to the back into the garage, and kind of keep it consistent with the property. So that's what we're trying to do. And
can I just add, when we put the front porch on, it will be coming out even with the rest of the.
with the neighbors, so extend the same distance as neighbors' porch.
All right, well, thank you, first of all. So it looks to me like there's really three issues that we need to consider, or three applications, however you want to put it. We've got site plan review, and then we also have a area variance for the coverage, and then also for the height. So I'd like to kind of take each of those separately. So why don't we start with the site plan review? And I guess let's go ahead and open the public hearing if that makes sense to folks.
I think we can open it for all three actions, is that right?
Oh, do we open for all three at once? Okay, all right, so, yeah, that makes sense. So let's do that. I'll go ahead and move to open the public hearing.
Second?
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Shannon? Aye. Member Hoppen?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Ristra?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. So let's start with the site plan review. There's really two things. There's the front porch and the front door, and then there's the garage in the back.
Well, are we taking public input first, or are we just discussing?
That's what I was wondering. Should we kind of define the issues first and then take some public input, or should we go ahead and hear? Why don't we hear public input first? I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Anybody here in the room have anything you'd like to say about this application before we go further? All right, hearing none. Are there anybody online raising their hand?
Yes, one person. Well, we have a couple, so we'll
Okay.
start with the building inspector.
Great.
You may speak, Steve.
Can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can hear you.
I just thought of something, and I hate to bring it up at the 10th hour, but I never checked the front setback. That was one thing, if somebody has the code or can check the setback on that zoning for the front porch, I just thought of that.
Okay.
Actually, I think I pulled that.
What is the front? Do you have it, what is it on the drawing, the distance between the porch and,
Well, I know,
In the front.
even with the rest of the houses, even with the rest of the houses without porch.
26 feet.
26 feet? Okay.
26 feet.
I don't know what the code requirement is offhand. Mindy, you actually have that on you?
I thought I pulled everything. One sec.
Wow, okay.
The 26 feet to the front.
No, it is.
Okay. Here we go. It's lot coverage. I have the lot coverage, but I don't have the front setback.
I'd love to resolve that issue tonight if we can. Do we
You wanna
have-
take it? We probably have the code here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we should have a copy of the code here that we can look
I
at, right?
don't think there is a code book. I think it's only online.
Oh,
I can pull it up if you.
Okay, that would be great.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind, thank you.
I think it's 210:20.5.
I wish I had your memory.
I was-
Yeah, right.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought, please.
Okay.
While we're looking that up, I want to make sure I understood. Did you say that without the porch, the front of the house is consistent with the rest of the neighborhood?
Yeah, we measure right next door, our immediate neighbor to the left, that has a similar frontage to us, and yeah, it's the same exact.
Okay, so with the porch, it would
Give or
be,
take an inch or so.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what I hear Steve saying is that even if it's the same as the rest of the neighborhood, if it violates the front setback, we still need to notice
They could have gotten a variance.
an area variance application for that.
So when our front porch is on, it will be even with the front porches.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's what I was trying,
Yeah, we're not adding.
gotcha. So that's what I wanted to make sure I understood was whether the setback without the porch is consistent with the other homes or
Right now, back.
further back than the other homes.
Yes.
Got it. Almost like it was originally planned for a porch or something.
Yes, exactly, thank you.
Okay. What zoning district is this in, Steve?
I think it's LDR, right?
Yeah, it's LDR, it should be the same. Now, another thing I noted, by the way, is,
You said it's aligned with the house to the left? Is that when you're looking at the property?
Yes. I think it's seven,
When you
maybe
just-
7 Sutherland, I believe
Oh,
is the
okay.
address. Yeah, it's one to the left.
And how about the one to the right?
It's kind of facing Monroe Avenue. so
Yeah,
there
it's
is-
that block
The
house.
first one on the right.
Round.
Yeah,
It's kind of a different.
It is cited different.
It's got a garage, to the right of our driveway, it's a garage.
Okay.
Monroe Avenue.
Yes, it is porch.
So if I may, yeah, so the zoning code, section 210-20.5 says that the front setback requirement in the LDR district is 70 feet. But there's a footnote that says, or the average between developed lots adjacent to the property in question.
okay.
So if the adjacent lots have the same front setback, you don't need an area variance.
Okay.
okay, so it sounds
Go
like,
to footnote 2.
it sounds like Steve will need to take a look at final drawings to make sure and make a determination on that. Something I had noticed is it looked like you did not include your porch in impervious surface calculations.
Yeah, we did not, we were thinking that it would be like a deck, but is it,
I think our code, you gotta look at the definition in our code of impervious surface. It even says gravel is impervious surface.
Yeah.
So I think any actual part of a building, anything with a roof, any building part, anything asphalt, anything gravel is all impervious surface.
Okay.
And so that will need to get added to the calculations.
Yeah. Do we know the square footage of the roof on the porch?
would probably be the same as the porch,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
At least close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I did include a sheet that kind of calculated it.
Yeah, I saw your sheet here,
Yeah.
and that's why I noticed was missing on there. And I saw on your site plan that it was not listed as impervious.
Yeah, I did not find it. Like I said, it was not going from the village definition. I didn't see that, so I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, you can take a look at that. If you look at the village code, it's right at it's the last section of the zoning code is definitions
Okay.
online. And you can look at that and you can talk it over with Steve.
Okay.
Well, I think we're gonna need to get a final number on this before we can adopt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do it on my laptop, but.
And you're getting rid of your deck, correct? You're not building one?
No, we have a deck. We're getting rid of the shed.
Okay,
There's a shed right there. We're gonna get rid of the shed and, we'd like to build a garage.
Okay. All right, so it looks like the area variance on the coverage issue is something that we might need to get some more information on before we can approve it. So let's talk about the height. Well, should we talk about the garage for terms of, for purposes of the site plan review before we go on to the height variance, or take them together? Any?
I mean, normally, I would normally like to act on everything all at once we have accurate information.
That sounds good. So let's talk about the.
But we can answer all the questions, we can do everything but vote on things.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we should do a
And
single
personally,
vote.
I'd like to see some architectural drawings of the garage as well before we act on
We
these.
were under the understanding that we should come here and get variance before we paid to get the architect to draw up, so we knew exactly what was expected of
Gotcha.
the height and
The impervious surfaces as well.
instead of.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad way to do it. We usually do require drawings before we approve, but it's certainly not a bad thing to come here and find out what exactly you need, so you can take that to the architect and make sure that you're, not having to pay for them to do it twice. So, no problem.
Yeah, so as far as square footage and height was on that drawing,
Will the garage be visible from the street?
yes.
The shed is currently visible from the street, right?
Yeah. So help us understand, the roof line on the new garage, is it going to be even with the height of the home, or still low, a bit lower?
It would be at least the same height, if not lower. It's hard because I don't have drawings of our original house, so I actually probably should have someone come out and measure it. But
Gotcha.
it would be at least lower than the current.
Okay, so it may be even, but it could be lower.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It won't be
It's
higher.
not a-
Got it, okay. And is the roof angle going to be similar, or is it going to be more, is it going to be steeper than the?
So, we were kind of, right now, I think the pitch of the roof is a little bit more pitched to the main house, but it's
That's
got
what it looked
It's got
like,
the
yeah.
triangle design, but I mean, if that's something that you guys would like to see, we'll have to make a change to that.
So do you have any plans other than you parking a car? Like for a second story or a second?
Yeah, second story for storage, but no plans to, it would be like a storage, just storage above the garage.
Yeah.
With some steps you can walk up.
Yeah, it's a very large garage that
It
you're
is a big
proposing.
garage, yeah.
So it's 900 square feet with a second story? Plus the second story.
Yeah.
You've seen our basement, that's got the least trees in it.
Okay, so you want to have like a little workshop in there or something like that as well?
Towards the back and the storage up top, right, the ideal situation.
So we're talking about also running power out there, not plumbing, I assume?
I don't think so. But, power for sure, because electric garage door openers. and stuff.
Yeah. Makes sense. Another question we had was, well, we had two, sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't mean to interrupt, but I mean, maybe plumbing for like a water space or
Utility
something
sink or
out there.
Yeah.
Like, something like that, but nothing
Okay.
else beyond that.
So a couple of issues that, questions that we had was one about drainage and one about lighting. Drainage, you probably gather that's something that we always look at. We're going from about, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 26 point something current up to about 42.8% proposed lot coverage. So it's a fairly significant increase. A lot of lots in the village do have high coverage like that. So it's not necessarily, we're not going to just necessarily deny it for that reason, but we do want to make sure that it's not causing drainage issues. So that's something that when you come back with the other information, that's something we want you to address as well, and be prepared to kind of speak to, so we can just, resolve any concerns about that. So the current house, does it have, how's the drainage work? Does it just kind of downspout that comes down and goes out into the yard, or does it go underground?
They have collectors.
Okay, and then do they come up out in the yard somewhere else, or do they tie into some other drainage somewhere?
They tie in other drainage.
Okay.
The gutters come down into a collector. So
Okay.
it's not into the yard or anything.
So that's on the house right
That's on the
now.
house, yeah. And the garage, we would do something similar, like, I didn't have the engineers design it now, but we would do, it's a new structure, so we would make sure that we could somehow tie it in so it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's something I'd like to see. There's only 3 feet from the property line. If you just, and there's a parking lot again, right behind you downhill.
Yep.
We don't want water running on the parking lot and freezing in the winter and stuff like that.
Understood, we wouldn't drain it out into the yard, I'm sure we would do maybe something similar to what they did with French drain.
So, yeah, I think if you can get away from 3 feet from the property line, if you could put it elsewhere in your backyard, that would be perfect
Okay.
through some kind of design system.
Okay, we will do that, yeah.
Okay.
The other question we have was about lighting. We didn't see that in the plans. Do you have a plan right now, or is that something you're still kind of figuring out?
Well, we would add it onto the garage, I did notice that there aren't any lights, there probably would be, I would imagine, 2 side lights to the garage, maybe dimmable, we'd kind of adjust it so it wouldn't bother the neighbors. Where the garage is going, though, would be, the other house, it's the next house over on Monroe Avenue, so it's a little bit set back from the garage.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would really bother them too much. I mean, we could put it on a dimmer to keep it low, or put a maximum LEDs in there or something.
Yeah, I think our code calls for a maximum of 75 watt bulbs, 1 bulb, and the term for friendly ones are dark sky compliant. They basically have a little shroud around them, so the light is hidden, recessed inside a cone or something like that. So the light goes on the ground, it doesn't shine outward.
Okay.
So if you do something like that, 75 watts or less,
Okay.
That's usually
Is it a single, though?
in a single bulb.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you're putting on either side of the garage doors. Something like that.
That's what I would do if that's allowed, or if we need to do one over the middle, we can do that as well.
I think that's up to you where you want them.
Yeah,
But-
I do one on each side.
Okay.
All right. And then the other issue we want to just ask you about was, because we're talking about a fairly significant construction pretty close to the property line, and there are trees, it looks like, we want to make sure that we're not, endangering the trees that are just over the line. So we just want to make sure that whoever's doing the work, that there is some kind of plan for how they're going to be able to do that without damaging the vegetation, across the property lines.
We want the vegetation too.
Yeah.
So we'll be sure to make sure that they do make sure they don't injure them, dig them up or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the big issue is I don't know, I'm not an expert, but heavy equipment running over roots can kill things. Changing the soil level can wreck the root structure, but all depends on the species of tree. That'll take some thought, and with appropriate person that knows what the trees are, I think.
You mentioned 3 feet, are you saying the building 3 feet?
Yeah, that's where it's placed on the,
Okay.
that's the setbacks.
So you're 3 feet from the back fence right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it is to the tree, but I think in general, if you're digging within 10 or 15 feet of a tree, that's not good. Or can be not good, but it depends on the tree.
How they handle it, okay. We'll note that.
Yeah, so let's just make sure when you guys come back with the other info that we've got a good, plan in place for addressing that concern. Now, because the garage is pretty large, we do have the option to refer this to the Historic Preservation Board. Anybody have any thoughts about whether we should think about doing that here, especially if they're going to be having to go back and get more information, so we can kind of keep the process rolling?
My thought is, I think this works best if they hear our concerns, they hear the concerns of the HPB, and then they update all their drawings and get one set that satisfies people. So far, I think you've heard a few concerns we've had are drainage, don't kill the neighbors' trees, get friendly lights so don't bother your neighbors. I have no idea what the Historic Preservation Board does. Have you talked to them at all? Have you talked to them at all?
No, I have not. This was, I thought, the first step.
Well, we usually act on things before they do, but some things I see and are like, okay, I don't have any concerns about this. And other things are like, that's a large garage. Is that okay?
I mean, there is a garage similar size to this one.
Yeah.
That's got a room above it and, yeah.
So what we don't want is for us to approve it, then it goes to them, and then them to say, we don't like this. Can you make it small? Then you have to come back to us and then change your plans
Spend more money.
and spend more money.
Exactly.
So,
They probably would go, it sounds to me like they would go smaller if anything, right? So if you approve the bigger footprint, and they made us go a little bit on a smaller footprint with that, because that's kind of something they've done typically, or?
I have no idea what they're gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't always know, yeah, sorry.
So, I mean, and I don't know, what are other people's thoughts on the size?
It's a significant ask for the variance, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, my thought was, when I looked at the plans and I'm familiar with the neighborhood, I didn't see anything that jumped out at me as, wow, this is wildly out of character or anything like that. But it is a big increase, so, they may have concerns.
And also with the front porch, I don't know what they're gonna have to say about that.
Oh, that's true, also.
And Steve needs to sort that out with the setbacks. It sounds like it's okay.
Yeah.
But, so I think, I don't know, does anyone here think they want to ask for a smaller garage, or do you want to let I would rather have the HPB weigh in first, personally.
I agree, I don't want to ask for smaller.
Right, agreed.
No, the rest of the houses on that street all have very large garages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and if you look across the street.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, right, exactly.
Okay, so I guess our options is you could just voluntarily ask to be on their next meeting and pitch some of your plan, basically the same things now. And if they're okay with the general plan, you can then get your architect involved to get your drawings figured out. Or we can do a formal referral to the HPB. Mindy, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, any thoughts on it?
We've done it both ways.
It doesn't really matter, 6 of one, half a dozen.
Yeah, it's going to come up before them anyway.
I mean, I would think that the applicant would want to make a formal application,
Right.
just so that you have their full attention, and you
Yeah.
don't get one,
Yeah.
kind of off the cuff answer, and then another one when you're undergoing formal review.
So when is that next meeting?
So the applications are already passed for April, next due May 6th for May 20th.
If we do a referral, is that more likely to get on their agenda? When is their meeting? Is it next week?
It's on the 15th, so.
Yeah, we'd love to keep it moving as much as we can.
Well, I could try it.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Steve?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you, Steve.
What I would suggest is that they go to HPB for information only before they spend the money on architectural drawings, in case there was some sort of concern with the size of the garage. We
Yeah.
don't see them go and spend thousands of dollars on an architectural plan and then have it kiboshed. It would make more sense to have them come in for information only at this next meeting, get an opinion there, and then come back to you guys.
That makes good sense to me.
Yeah.
You can hit on the
That's a good
agenda for
recommendation.
information only, but the application to apply for anything is passed for April.
Okay, well, they would normally apply for a formal application after we decide on everything. But is the deadline passed for them to do for information only?
No.
No, okay, so they could do
So
that.
that sounds like a good.
Okay.
Does
So
that
that's
sound
a-
reasonable?
I think so.
When is that meeting?
April 15th.
Okay.
Tax
So-
day.
All right, so I think that would work best, is if you talk to them and see what they have to say about what you've put together so far. And from my perspective, I'm kind of concerned about the sheer size of the garage. And then I think we're not necessarily so concerned about the porch, but they will be.
They will.
Yeah, they'll have opinions.
And so if it requires changing the size of anything, it's best to get that all dialed in, and then we'll have our numbers, and then we can go forward with that. And address drainage and lighting and some thoughts on the trees, that's good. I think that's all I've heard come up. Anyone else have anything to add?
Information on a porch light, I'm assuming you're gonna put a porch light on there? Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
one on either side of the door and then one on the other corner.
Makes sense.
where it's stored.
Okay, so when you get us updated plans, to show the locations of any new lights.
There's actually one, there's one on the sidewalk. But then, yeah, we'll-
If you have the locations down, and if you say they're gonna be 75 watts or less, and particularly if they have the shroud around them, then that's fine, we shouldn't have any concerns about that.
But this is not an architectural drawing, you just want the information.
Well, you can
Like,
take a Sharpie and draw where they're gonna be on that plan there if you wanted to.
Yeah,
We just need the information.
you got it.
Okay.
All right. Anybody have anything else that you want to say or
Do they
ask?
want to be on the April 24th meeting, or are they going to?
You know, I guess that's a good question, is if we keep this open,
roll this as quick as we can would be great.
Yeah.
we can put you on the agenda on the 24th when we do the other one. And if you don't have enough time to get drawings together, then we'll just punt it to the next meeting.
Which is only a week later, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yes, good idea, yes, it?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Sounds good.
So the 24th is a
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
yeah,
so it would
30.
be.
I can add
No, it would be the next week.
It is next week, it's only a big difference.
So do we need to take a vote to table it, or can we just?
I think we need to say that we're going to leave the public hearing open and announce the date that we'll continue hearing the application, date and time.
Okay, sounds good.
So if you want to make a motion to do that. go for it.
Yeah, sounds good. I will move to keep the public hearing open and to revisit the application in our special meeting on the 24th
At 6:30 PM.
at 6:30 PM. Thank you.
I'll second it.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hoffman?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Boystra?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Oh, I just want to remind you guys, because we mentioned the drainage and the lighting. Don't forget also the calculation on the coverage. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look up the definition, adjust it accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question for you. You had a fence in your backyard there that you said was half falling down or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Is that your fence or is that the neighbor's fence?
It's technically the responsibility of the non-residential person behind us. But
Because you have a commercial,
they have a non-residential use behind us, so technically they have to put a fence up. I've kind of fixed it up best I can, but at some point, and you guys probably know, they're doing that to apartments behind us.
yeah, I heard that was going on. So you're aware that was going on?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we're aware of 7 AM, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think there's big
Yeah, no, we're well aware of the construction going on there, but, I'm sure there'll be a point where we'll replace the fence, and I don't know when we need to do that, but I think it's his responsibility, but we'll figure it out between the two of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have opinions on what that should look like, you two might want to chat, you and the people doing construction back there.
She has
previously because,
And then talk to the building inspector too, possibly.
yeah, we've already spoken, and he was trying to sell the property at that point, so he didn't want to invest any money into it.
Yeah.
Now that he's keeping it, I'm sure he's building luxury apartments, and that's my understanding. He's probably going to want to make a nice, we're hoping.
Yeah.
Nice fence, so,
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I would add is when you have the number for the lot coverage,
Okay.
including the porch, please give it to Alexandria, because we may need to formally modify the application
Oh, okay, yeah,
for
okay,
that.
we'll do. I'll do that, I'll send it over.
Which will need 5 days, 10 days before, if you want to be at the special meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll,
so what are the materials?
I'll do that tomorrow.
Is that, oh, that's, it might need to be renoticed if they're
That's for,
amending it.
yeah, it's for
It's
the
a
HDB, it's not really for.
Of the application for more coverage.
Okay. I thought people could amend them as long as we had sent out.
Or
the written
less, yeah, it would be okay, but if you're going to increase it, it's already up to 42.8%. I mean.
Okay.
And you've got the time,
Okay.
That's true.
so.
All right, well, sorry that we couldn't approve it tonight, but hopefully we can keep things moving.
Well, at least you got some list of concerns and things to look at.
Yeah.
We appreciate your time, and the feedback's been great, so thank you.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Appreciate it.
And let us know if you have.
See you again.
Those are yours.
Thank you.
Improvement to that house.
For sure.
Yeah. That's a tough house.
Yeah.
And it's sided. Yeah.
Felt like stuff keeps exploding around me. Sorry if I'm spreading your space over there. Thanks for running things, Jared.
Oh, no problem. Happy to do it.
Maybe we can. Okay, so now we're just down to minutes.
And a couple of resolutions.
Yeah.
Minutes and the resolutions from last time, and I need to actually get myself organized. I felt like
Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Looks a lot easier than it is.
Yeah, that's right.
I sent him a few thoughts and let him decide what he wanted to do.
All right.
Okay, these were the February 7th minutes. Did everyone get a chance to read these? I know they came out really late. I looked them over and Katie looked them over. Thank you, Katie, for taking a look at them.
Sure.
And this is how it ended up.
Additionally, I propose that we send the minutes and the resolutions the week of the meeting and not with the regular packet, since it's not posted to the public anyway. So they would come out like the Monday of the meeting, if you guys liked that format, or if you feel like you need more time with them, then.
I would have a very difficult time reviewing and editing in that short amount.
No, not you,
Okay.
you would get the,
Okay.
you would get the
Okay.
link for it.
All right.
I'm saying once they're reviewed and edited, to send them to the board the Monday of the meeting.
See, well, I guess, do people need more than 2 days to look at these things? I would think probably do. Thoughts, anybody?
I don't, but I'm retired, so.
There may be weeks that it may be tough to look at them in that amount of time, but we've got at least a few people on the board that will be able to review them, and if the rest of us can rely on those that have reviewed it more closely, then maybe it's okay.
Okay. I thought this worked well with having a couple of us look at it. Are you okay with doing this more regularly?
Yeah, that's fine.
We
Okay.
talked about you having a whole weekend ahead. Yes,
Very
I'll
helpful.
stick with that, for sure.
That'd be great.
Okay. All right, we'll keep doing that then. Okay, so people are reading. There's February 7th ones.
Good.
You're good, Susan?
I think Michael has an H. Michael Puccia.
Oh, I think you're right.
That is a good catch.
That's an H.
Is he missing an H, or is there an extra H? What is that?
It's missing.
Missing an H.
And,
Present.
yeah,
Oh, in the minutes.
in the minutes,
Oh,
yeah.
In minutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's right in the resolution. but
Oh, I
missing
see.
an H,
Got it.
yeah.
Right under the red.
Okay, so first.
Actually, in both, sorry.
Yeah, both of them.
Yep.
post the minutes.
As in February 7th and March 6th.
Okay. Thank you.
So first of all, the minutes, did anyone else have any concerns about the February 7th minutes, other than adding the H? Now I'll make a motion to approve them with that
Yeah,
revision.
I'm just not sure you need to say, like, under member items, I would suggest maybe you end the sentence after minutes have been tabled for the next meeting period.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll repeat my motion to adopt them with the 2 changes discussed for February 7th.
I'll second.
Member Shannon?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Thank you. Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hoppen?
I will abstain as well for the same reason.
Oh, you weren't here, okay.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Bellister?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, I guess that was one of the first things I looked at, is who's actually at the meeting. And then we have the March 6th minutes. So again, we had changing the Michael.
Actually, you know what, I should have abstained from the last one, I was absent from the March 6th meeting.
No, we didn't.
Put it on the second.
Oh, we're only doing this, okay,
Yeah.
never mind, I'm sorry, I thought I got mixed up, all right. Never mind.
So are we on to March 6th now?
I think now we're on March
I think
6th.
we're on the March 6th, yeah. There's that one comment you had, Katie, on what is this, about the comment of her passing things around. I don't know if this,
That was me.
that was you?
Yeah, I said, I didn't understand that.
Did that get removed, or is that?
I just removed it, because neither of you commented on it, so if it seemed clear to you, then I just took that question out.
Okay, yeah, you had put it in there that I had passed out a few pamphlets and a few handouts to everybody. That comment can be in there or not in there, it doesn't make much difference to me.
Go ahead, sorry.
So, kind of, I like a pretty sparse retelling, and not because it was me, but on the first page, I did have that question about the intended use in a smaller structure, and so I'm just interested in why that comment was included.
Well, you're looking at something different than I am.
Yeah, I'm confused, because this doesn't look like what I edited.
So I'm looking at Wednesday, March 6th.
Yours is dated revision 331, mine is missing the revision date on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't have a revision date.
That's really strange. I'm not sure what happened with that then.
So, this is-
What should I look at?
I mean, yours is correct, and I printed copies of the same for everyone. So the ones that you guys have would be old. The 3. You can pass the ones that don't have a revision date down to me with confusion.
all
And
right,
then if you guys want to look at the resolutions, I can make copies of the ones Susan has.
I'm farther away.
This is
That should be helpful.
This is minutes.
yeah,
Yeah, you have a updated minute.
Mine
so
says-
your minutes and the ones Katie and I had were different.
Oh.
Your printed ones.
Can I see yours? Just make a copy. I don't know how that happened. These are these. 2 seconds.
Can I see yours?
These are- these are-
I'm too tired to.
What's that?
No, you've lost me, I'm toast.
Okay. Okay.
Long day.
A long day.
Yeah.
Are always long. Yeah, and I think I had put, I know I managed to get revised 4.1 on one of the things that are viewed, but I'm pretty sure it was only one out of the 4, probably that.
It's the resolution.
Yeah, but I think I was bleary-eyed by the time I was looking at these two, so.
Yeah.
This leads me to another question I'm gonna ask you guys before the night is done. I don't know where to put yours.
I don't know either. I guess these things,
Thank you.
well,
You're welcome.
I just try to get to discard things I'm not going to be using tonight. So that's one. And as a comment, I heard that they're not going to build this pool and shed.
Okay.
Oh, they're not.
That's my reaction.
So,
Well, you still made a determination, and the determination should be quite formalized, so.
yeah, so I didn't know if that meant anything, and they may come back and build the shed, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems they have, Steve said is they've saw the price on things and they're doing something else for now. They may do it later, I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever, I guess the reason why it doesn't matter, but they didn't make it to the preservation board. So they build something within a year or these go away, I believe.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so sorry, so Susan, you had a comment about.
Yeah, I would just request that the last two sentences on the, that larger paragraph on the bottom be struck.
And I thought it would be clearer if, like, where the description is 21 East Jefferson Circle dot dash, it should say lot coverage, area, and shed size variances.
And shed size variances,
Yeah.
Right, so the variances should be in there.
and shed size area variance.
Right, right, or lot coverage and shed size area variances.
Okay. So add area variances to the end. And strike area variance right after lot coverage.
Correct.
You get that? Okay.
And then perhaps, in the first sentence, to clarify that the lot coverage area variance application was received on December 15th, and then the application was amended on whatever date to apply for an area variance for the size of the shed. So I don't know what that date was.
Okay, so in that first sentence, then we should add the date.
Yes.
And was everyone okay with removing those two sentences mentioned by Susan? Are you okay?
That's fine with me.
Are you okay with that too?
I am.
I don't usually delete things without asking for, although that's not a huge thing. Okay, so strike those two sentences.
I think if we're on page 2, the third small paragraph. Distributed some supplementary materials for the discussion to board members. I don't know if the word finding apostrophe needs to be in there.
Probably not. Yeah, that seems wrong.
Yeah, and then the end of the sentence, when considering the variances, but rather than when granting the variances.
Okay.
And then the same comment under member items, February 7th, 2024, minutes have been tabled for the next meeting, period.
Right.
Yeah, and I think the rest of that and the next sentence can all be struck. Okay.
And one other thing I would suggest is that the motion on page 1, to open the public hearing for the second area variance for the size of the accessory needs a Y. And I think that the intention was also to continue the public hearing for the lot coverage variance, because you had left that open in February.
Yeah, maybe, should we add a statement in here, a statement after that, and said the public hearing has been, was kept open for the lot coverage variance?
Yeah, or you can say, and to continue the public hearing for the lot coverage
Okay.
variance.
So add a Y to accessory building, and then before the period after building, we're going to say, and continue the public hearing for
Lot
coverage variance.
And then on the top of page 2, Justin moves to close the public hearings, period.
With an S.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anyone have anything else for these? I think going over the resolutions will take a little more time, but we'll get there. All right, if we're good with this, I'll move to adopt the March 6th meeting minutes with the changes discussed.
Second?
Clarifying question, since member Wilks is here but not sitting up here, does he still vote, or Jared will abstain?
That was my question.
Yeah,
That's why
I wanted to know too. Okay,
No,
Glad you asked
as long as we have a quorum, no.
so Jared will just abstain. Okay.
You can speak up if you have any changes to the
You
minutes.
know, make sure you guys all finish everything you say.
Okay.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Wilks?
Aye.
Member Hoppen,
Aye.
member Cook.
Abstain.
Aye. And I'll hand you my marked up copy in case, I think you probably have an equivalent one, but I'll give that to you there.
I'll always take your copies. Okay.
I think she has probably an
I do,
identical
but
markup.
I
You do
don't
a
know
good
how
job of
many you
that.
need.
I wrote down notes, so unless you guys want to see them again, then I think we're good.
And, and if one little thing is missing, we can usually live. But we try to get them all in there.
Owner's error can be corrected.
Yeah. Okay, now on to the resolutions. I think it makes sense to start with the shed size, which is the second one. Yeah, the resolution 2024-2. And the discussion we had at the meeting was basically on the lot coverage one. We basically said, yeah, let's take some of these boilerplate things that we did before for a pool lot coverage, then let's add the shed discussion to it. So if we start with the shed discussion, that might need to make its way into the other ones. Any thoughts, Susan?
Yeah, on C, the shed is 288 square feet, whereas the code limits building size to 120 square feet. This is substantial. I would strike not egregious. I don't think we should get into the kind of trying to qualify what is
Okay, so you can,
egregious.
so we can just say, but the plans.
But the plan's appropriate, yes.
I had the same
Oh,
to the word.
oh my goodness.
And I would also suggest to that sentence that we say accessory building size to 120 square feet rather than building size,
Yeah.
or storage, or it could be shed size. We could just say shed size to 100 square feet, that'd be even clearer. So under C, we'll change the word building to shed. Do you have anything else, Susan?
No.
In paragraph A, second to last line of that first paragraph, house built in 1955 in a medium density residential.
So after 55, we'll write in.
Yeah. E, there should be a period instead of a semicolon.
What was that?
Under paragraph E, there should be a period at the end of the sentence rather than a semicolon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So books, novels in the UK now often eliminate quotation marks.
Really?
Why?
That is interesting.
And so you just kind of read this, I don't know.
Do they have, was that for indented paragraphs, or is that?
No,
Wow,
no.
that would be confusing. That would be confusing.
We just read like a 300-page novel that with that feature, you had to pay a little attention. Yeah.
Well, I guess Cormac McCarthy does the same thing.
Who?
Cormac McCarthy, he's an
Does he?
American author. Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a few years, but
Oh, I couldn't,
he does eliminate a lot of punctuation that you would expect to see. So I think he
I have to look
doesn't
at
use
that.
quotation. I mean, I have to go back and look at my
Yeah,
copies
yeah.
of the Porter Trilogy.
yeah.
If you guys are done with your comments, I had a couple of other small comments on this. So on page 1, I think we can get rid of the number 4 because that's part of that's a description of the waterfront consistency review. The numeral 4.
Yeah.
On page 2, paragraph A, the sentence that begins, the line that begins Village Code 210, blah, 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 provides some vision for properties on the, I would say, district boundary. Just add the word district. And then at the bottom of that page, major power distribution lines are in the rear that dominate visual sight, SIGHT lines.
Spell checkers do not catch those things.
No, they don't catch a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Not obsolete yet.
So they get AI-powered Word. Oh, man, I can't imagine what that's going to do.
That's already out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. I think there's gonna be some big changes to document writing in the upcoming years.
It's already happening.
Yeah, Grammarly.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
The decline
Yeah,
continues.
that's right.
Well, so people coming out of high school or college will have differing writing skills than they used to.
Mhm.
What do we do?
Yeah, I would say, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Not to go back, but in that first whereas clause on the first page, permit the construction of a 288 square foot,
But, yes,
and you could even just do an abbreviation
Yeah.
essentially.
Sounds good.
And for the second reference to foot 2.
Mhm.
So you could say foot accessory building where the code allowance is 120 square feet.
Yep, with the abbreviation for square feet.
Yep.
Sounds good.
demonstrating once again the superiority. of-
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, our brains are useful. For the time being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, if we're done with that, I'll make a motion to accept the wording for Resolution 2024-2 with the changes discussed.
Second.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hawking?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Abstain.
Chair Felicia?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, now, the number 1 is even longer because it kind of merged that shed discussion with the discussion of the pool that we've had in a couple of meetings.
The same changes, right? as
Right.
in-
Yeah, so we'll start with copying the same changes from number 2 and put them back in this one where appropriate. Okay. So in A, what's new is just the first paragraph. The rest of it was copied from the shed one.
Backyard, one word.
I thought so, you guys.
I don't know.
Which one?
Backyard, is it one word or 2?
I spell it as one word. Other
It's
people-
spell it as one word.
It's one.
Okay, so that paragraph A, if you want to take the time to make backyard one word,
Okay.
I won't be offended if it's left out.
In D, where that first, the comma is in the first line, it should just be and.
So replace the comma where it says non-conforming with and.
Mindy, what's an example of when something, a difficulty is not self-created?
Somebody else creates it. So for example, if you can't comply with the front setback because the state has condemned your part of your front yard, then that would be not self-created.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah, I was having a hard time thinking of something like that.
We don't see a lot of those here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like someone tries, they have the classic example, you need a variance because you have a large pile of rock in your backyard or something like that. We don't have meteors just landing in people's backyards too often, do we?
Not yet.
Although part of the International Space Station fell through a house in Florida.
Yeah.
Do we know that was part of it? Because I know it was sent to NASA, but they're going to test to see if it's actually part of the ISS.
Oh, I don't know. I did not follow up.
Fact checking.
And so the rumor goes on.
Is there any other changes anyone has? Okay, well, if we're okay with this, I'll make a motion to accept the language of Resolution 2024-1 with the changes discussed.
Second.
Yes.
Me.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Abstain.
Member Hopper?
Aye.
Chair Ristra?
Aye,
Motion passes.
great.
I just have a question for you, Will. Well, where does this board stand on things like draft minutes or practice resolutions being double-sided, printed and stapled?
I think that's a good idea, personally.
All for less paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good idea.
We end up making a mountain of it for every meeting, unfortunately.
I usually do my mountain after the meeting.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because I do use scratch paper, but some of the things that we're literally just practicing with, I don't think are part of the main packet, and I don't know who keeps their packets, and.
I do not normally, I keep the draft resolutions I write my chicken scratch on until I see these come out and update them accordingly, and then I don't look at them again.
Okay, all right, I would like to move to that when we're at least doing draft anything to be double-sided, and I can keep them together, just with the staple.
That sounds good.
Thank you.
And having the revision date on everything,
Yeah.
even the first ones, I think would be very.
That's a good.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Just have to remember that. Is there a way to make it like an autofill date like thing so that we don't have to remember to actually change the?
When I do the first draft, I can stamp it, and then when I send it to you, you should be able to save it, and it should stamp it too.
Okay. because that's probably the last thing I'm gonna remember.
I know.
to do. Yeah.
So you said when you say that you can have a field in there that auto updates with the date.
Yeah, it's a type of footer that I
Okay.
can input, I can put on there.
Cool, interesting. Okay.
I just learned about that. I think they're called quick parts.
Yep.
Or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I use that.
I'm not familiar with that.
Some memories.
You know, it's kind of funny because whatever features they've come out with in the last 20 years in Word, I may not have ever used them. I mean, I've been using it for so long, I'm just used to the stuff, but I mean, ever since they had dancing paper clips go away, I mean, like, what new stuff have they come out with that I've actually used?
Wow.
I
missed
can't
the
even
dancing
count
paper
that.
clips.
Oh, that was a long time ago. No one wants them back.
The little tutorial guy that popped up, looks like a random.
Oh, that would have been really annoying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
That-
Left.
Do you want our notes?
I can give you
No,
mine.
I recycle everything, I feel pretty good about the notes that I take,
Okay.
so yeah, if you
Okay.
just want me to use our recycled, then you can use
And
it.
you've got the recording.
I do. I listen to it on 1.5 speed.
Oh, God.
If you want mine,
Three boards, during minutes, so.
here's the markups, my markups on the resolutions.
Thanks, Justin.
If you want to. All right. Anything else to go over? I guess, I mean, maybe we can discuss another time, but usually once a year, I like to have a discussion with everybody about what should we be doing different, what can we change, and so on. Jared ran a few things in the meeting. I was wondering if other people would like to maybe rotate through and run some sections of meetings. No one's jumping up and down? Okay.
Happy to do it as requested.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see. If anyone wants something, let me know. I guess I don't have anything else to go over. I'm kind of spent.
No, I have a quick question after the close of the meeting.
Okay,
Me too.
all right, I'll make a motion to close the meeting then.
Second?
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Hoppen?
Aye.
Member Cook?
Aye.
Chair Minister?
Aye.
Motion passed.